want to add, and I don't know if it's because I'm just feeling the energy around Veterans Day, but I've been thinking a lot the last couple of weeks about my Memorial Day tribute. I think it's episode 11. And it was a really powerful story about two soldiers that went and fought in the Vietnam War for the United States of America. And one of those soldiers came home in a box, and the other one came home alive and has lived a full life. And I actually spoke in person with the one, obviously, that's still living. I shouldn't say obviously because I speak to both of them, but naturally, most people would think it was obviously the one that's still living. But I spoke with him in, I think, March of this year. And I just felt like there was a lot of survivor's guilt still about why is it two friends went to the same war and one came home alive and one didn't? And how does that happen? I feel like these two holidays, Memorial Day and Veterans Day, are so closely related because they're both honoring those that have served us. And which category they fall in, we really don't ever have any idea why. But as I was speaking with this individual last March, it just kept coming to me that if he wasn't still here telling his side of the story, telling what he witnessed, telling even the side of the story of my uncle, we wouldn't have known the degree of the sacrifices that he made. And sometimes I feel like there are those people who sign up for these earth missions knowing that they're not going to be here as long as others. And I think I even said this in that Memorial Day episode, but I truly feel like some just sign up for a shorter lifespan than others. And they come here knowing that they're going to have a shorter lifespan, and they just seem to live a fuller life in those times that they're here, and they have this huge impact. And then I feel like there's those other people that they came for a longer lifespan, but as they're navigating through life with these other individuals that came with a shorter lifespan, they have this really interesting dynamic where their ability to see and witness life with that person really opens their eyes to so much about life, these amazing perspectives that they wouldn't have seen if they had not met that individual. And they're almost there as witnesses to see, to experience, and to tell the rest of the world about these awesome opportunities that they had living life alongside of these flames that weren't meant to be here as long, but shone very brightly. And I couldn't help but think as I was listening to this guy talk, like if he hadn't come back, then we wouldn't have known the end of that story, the end of that episode, and how powerful that is for us and whoever may have listened to it. And I feel a lot for those veterans that fought for their country, whatever their country is, alongside of friends and brothers and arms. And I feel for them for so many reasons, but because it's hard to love someone and trust someone so much to have them protect your back and knowing that not all of those soldiers came back with them alive. That has to be such a hard burden to bear. I wanted to this Veterans Day send a shout out to all of those people that are still carrying that burden and say that I can understand as a human why. I can understand where you're coming from. And I feel you and I send you extra love as you celebrate your holiday. And that I hope that if you're listening, this brings you a little bit of lightness to know that you were there to witness. You were there to meet those people and have those people impact your life. You were there to tell their stories. They shared that with you. They shared that moment with you, and you've been able to retell. And through your stories of them, through you honoring them, you've continued their legacy. And that's important. And you shouldn't have to. And I hope that you don't. I hope this helps lighten your load. That the reason that they're gone has nothing to do with the reason that you're still alive. As in, they don't want you to hold that burden on your shoulders. They want you to remember them for the jovial, happy, loving people that they were, for the sacrifices they made, sure, but not in the way where you're emphasizing their deaths. They want you to celebrate their lives. And through your continued experience of living this life, they are living this life with you and through you. So I really hope that this helps you. And I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't even put it out there, but I just feel like, I don't know if it's the energy of this week, but I just feel like there's some people that need to hear it. And I hope that it helps them. I had this really cool experience this month. I think it was this month. It could have been the very end of October. I don't know exactly. an acquaintance of our family passed away, and they had served in the Army, and it was really cool because, as you know from my Memorial Day podcast, my Uncle Don passed away in the Vietnam War. He sent me this image in my third eye of him greeting this acquaintance as, like, a respectful brother-in-arms salute and hug and embrace, and it was just so cool to see one soldier to another, welcoming him home and bringing him in to the gates of heaven, if you wanna call it that, but really it was just, they're on the other side together, and they're hanging out, and it was really an awesome experience. So, to those of you that are missing your brother in arms, know that when you do make that crossover, you will be greeted by them, and it's gonna be a great, happy reunion. I don't know who needed to hear that, but I feel like somebody did, so I hope it helps. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I can't wait to speak with you again soon, and I hope that you are thriving. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. I wish you the most love, light, and inspiration. With all of my love, Katie.